Battle packs are back, baby. Woo! Hello to all of you beautiful people inside of my phone, and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're taking a look at the Snowtrooper Battle Pack from the 2022 Winter Wave. The set number is 75320, the ages recommended are 6 and up, and with a mere 105 pieces, is this set still worth the whopping $20 price point, being that this is the first regular sized battle pack to be released at that high of a cost. Stick around until the end of this video for my pros and cons list and recommendations for if I believe that this set is a fair value or not. I really like the new LEGO Star Wars box art for the Winter 2022 lineup with the angular graphics and color coordination based on the media that it's from. For instance, this has blue striping to signify that it was based on the Battle of Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back, while the Razor Crest Microfighter has orange instead because it's from The Mandalorian. I believe this is also one of the first times that the character art sits in the bottom left corner, as it usually appears on the top right. The other major difference is that we get an Imperial insignia on the side to show that these are indeed forces of the Empire, plus the really nice side box art below it. On the top we can see the actual size of our Hoth Trooper, and if we turn it around we get a nice full view of the set with all of its action features on the back. Instead of putting a hole straight through it, I'd rather use an X-Acto knife to open and save the box while keeping it in the best condition possible by carefully cutting around the edges, as long as there's an open flap big enough to pull out our 2 bags and instruction manual. The instruction booklet is quite small. It does have a QR code on the front to access the manual digitally. I find it interesting that there is a progress bar on the bottom throughout the build, and once you complete a section, there is some fun celebratory stars and pizzazz. Woohoo! Flipping to the end of the manual, we do get a nice look at the other sets from the 2022 Winter Wave, as well as all the Hoth focus sets on the next page, which does feel a bit redundant. Of course, there's an ad for the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga video game, which I'm personally convinced is never going to actually be released at this point. So without further ado, let's get to building this bad boy. With the Snowtrooper Battle Pack completed after an approximate build time of around 10 minutes, I must say, I'm impressed with the quality of this set. Out of the 4 minifigures in total, we get 3 identical Snowtroopers, each having cool helmet molds, dark tan hands, and great printing on the front of the torso that flows onto the belt and legs, as well as the same quality used for the back. And a Hoth Scout Trooper, which is a new exclusive figure that we have never seen before in other LEGO Star Wars sets. It has an awesome dual molded helmet and superb printing all around. By removing their helmets, you'll notice that each of them has a different gender or ethnicity, giving a better figure customization than in the past. Over the choice of stud shooters used in battle packs since the Force Awakens sets from 2016, each figure comes with their own blaster, including a pistol for the Scout Trooper, long gun for one of the Snowtroopers, and medium rifles for the other 2. Speaking of weaponry, we do get a heavy blaster cannon, which I thought was the E-Web seen in The Empire Strikes Back and the use of the Imperial forces on Hoth, but after doing some additional research, it turns out that this instead more appropriately resembles the Mark II EWHB-10, also known as the Mark II medium blaster, which was ironically used by the Rebel Alliance forces on Echo Base. So for this set, either it was stolen by Snowtroopers and used against the Rebels as the Empire advanced, or it's inaccurate simply because LEGO mistakenly got it wrong. Either way, it has the newer version of the stud shooter on top, which is only made up of these 2 pieces. It can be operated by loading a stud into the barrel, forcing the back piece to flip up, which when pressed will fire the stud at a very high speed. Don't shoot your eye out, kids! Although it increases the set's playability and is integrated well enough, I still like the look of it better when it's removed, but that's just me. Even though I am a completionist who normally likes to keep all of the parts to the set together. There are a couple exposed studs in the back, which is never something that I fancy, but I have never seen the transparent piece on the bottom that holds the tripod together, which I really like and I think could be used well by mock builders. And after a quick look at Bricklink, I realized this piece is actually older than I thought, as it's originally from 2015 and was first released in Ninjago sets. I also do appreciate that the legs are made up of the 2-barreled pistols seen first in the 2011 Alien Conquest sets. Overall, it's a nice build that I don't mind having several of if I were to get multiple more battle packs, but more on that soon. Next up, we have the Imperial speeder bike, which was never originally seen on Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back, but this white version is later in Star Wars The Mandalorian and was produced in action figure packs, so I'm not necessarily offended by it being in this set. LEGO did create previous versions of this vehicle in the first Snowtrooper Battle Pack released back in 2010 and other sets thereafter, but honestly, I much prefer this one to the classic older design. design. Maybe it's just because it's new, but I do indeed like the more accurate, fresh, sleek look as opposed to the clunkier, older version. There is a printed control panel where the Scout Trooper minifigure can be fitted into the seat by uncomfortably wedging the legs into the piece below it and connecting their hands to the bars above. We get some flexibility for the pieces on the back, altitude controls where the feet of the rider sit on the actual vehicle, bottom blaster cannon, and directional steering vanes on the front. Now this is the same speeder model used in the UCS AT-AT and is actually super accurate to the design in Star Wars, so I am surprised by how much of an improvement I feel this is. Lastly, we get a snow wall for our Imperial troops to hide behind with a placement for binoculars to clip in on the back. Now although it's simple for what it's worth, there are some nice slope pieces included in the build, and if you're planning on buying multiple battle packs, it would be cool to make a larger trench by combining the pieces used here together. Here's a quick look at the extra pieces. It is worth noting here that you do get multiple more translucent red pieces for the stud shooter, because if you're anything like me, those pieces tend to disappear when you accidentally shoot them across the room. With all things considered, one pro of this set is that unlike with other battle packs more recently, this one is much more massable and you're going to fight the urge to have more than one, just like potato chips. Why? This is because the speeder and heavy blaster are well used in the Star Wars universe, so it's fine to have multiple. The snowbanks could be combined into a larger trench, and the figures, aside from one, are all the same infantry trooper that you would want to build a large army of, especially if you're trying to make your own Battle of Hoth. The lack of variety in this set is actually a big win, as it allows you to accumulate a larger number of the same trooper, and the quality of those figures, which is great, is just as important. I really like the new speeder bike design, definitely more than I thought I would, probably because of how accurate it is. This set is also just a fun small build with 3 separate sections, although it doesn't take very long to put together. On the flip side, there is specifically one big con to this set. Can you guess what it is? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the cost. For $20, let me say it again, for $20, this feels highly overpriced. Look, I get it. LEGO battle packs normally have 2 smaller builds at most, and this one has 3. There are additional licensing fees that have to be paid to Disney under the Star Wars tax, and not to mention, inflation has skyrocketed through the roof. But with all of that calculated, the piece count for this set is the exact same as the Sith Trooper Battle Pack, which came out fairly recently. And you would be right by saying that LEGO pieces are not created equally. But it feels like you're getting the same value. Or does it? Because I would say that this set is better than that one, but is it worth $5 more? Probably not. So why do I think that LEGO did it? Honestly, because they can. They know probably better than anyone that LEGO Star Wars fans have been salivating for a battle pack since they took a hiatus from making them. And now they come back a year later with one priced at $5 higher. LEGO is a business, and they know that this will make them money, which is completely understandable. But if you're looking to get this set cheaper than $20, I have some advice for you at the end of this video. Other than the price, the only other minor issue that I take with this set is actually the durability. When you're playing with it, parts of the speeder tend to pop off, and the heavy blaster will often disconnect from the middle. I really have no other complaints with this set. After all, there aren't any stickers with it. No matter if you're an army builder or just a kid who's looking for a fun set to play with, this is a strong recommendation for me, as this is a set that LEGO Star Wars fans of all ages can enjoy. It also fits perfectly with the Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT, which I have purchased and will be building in the future, so stay tuned. There are 40 seats in the body of that set to fit more troops, and if you subtract the amount of Snowtroopers that come with it, you're going to need in total 12 more of these battle packs if you plan on filling it up. That's a large chunk of change that LEGO is betting adults are willing to pay. Obviously, for the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, the pros outnumber the cons, but do they outweigh that blistering $20 price point? Oof. In my humble opinion, although this set provides a lot of value, especially in comparison to battle packs that we've more recently gotten, I still feel like this set is overpriced by around $5. I also can't imagine why this would cost LEGO more to produce than other battle packs would. I mean, 3 of the 4 figures are nearly identical. So after seeing the set, if you really like it and you want it right now, go out and buy it, be my guest, it's truly a great one. But if you can hold off for a bit, I believe that the price will actually drop after it's been on store shelves for just a little bit of time, just as other battle packs have done in the past. It'll likely whittle down to around $16 or $17, which is not a lot, but honestly, it just feels better. If this set was priced at the typical $15, it would be nearly flawless to me, and I would rate it a 10 out of 10, but it's not. so I have to bump it down to a 9. This is just not $20 of LEGO sitting in front of me, and if you're buying it for the figures alone, that rounds out to $5 each. From what I've personally seen, it seems like the in-store stock of them is pretty high, and Amazon currently has no limit on the amount of them you can place in your cart, so I hope they stay available long enough for you to get as many as you want. And of course, as I'm about to upload this video, it looks like I spoke too soon, as it seems to be currently sold out on Amazon, so whenever they restock, get them while you can. If you got some value out of this video, please leave a like down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this set in the comments section. Are you going to pass on this one, or is this a set that you want or have already? And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more LEGO Star Wars reviews like this and the ones on your end screen now.